In honor of Mr. Bill Gates' recent Q&A with the DOJ about his relationship with Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, I wanted to enlighten the world with a few key facts. One being that Cascade Investments, aka Cascade Asset Management, was set up in 1999 to cascade assets offshore to William Gates. In case it's not obvious to everyone, what brings these two men together is agriculture. As I've mentioned over and over again, Jeffrey Epstein hijacked the estates and trusts of the founders of the Ohio Farm Bureau. Mr. William Gates is currently the largest landowner in the world of U.S. farmland. Now, it says that the majority of it was brokered through 22 different shell entities, with the majority transferring from Agriculture Company of America. It's called AGCO A. AGCO A. Well, it's not only that, it's also the Canada Pension Plan Association that transfers a lot of the farmland too. Well, so AGCO was instrumental in liquidating U.S. landmark titled commercial agricultural equipment to Iraq and Afghanistan. AGCO. There was a big investigation about it. And just by a simple audit of Cascade Investments, Cascade Group, and all of the bundles that roll up under the International Cascade Investment trademark owned by the UK, it's obvious that William Gates and his foundations are definitely shell-based entities. What does that mean? They're mirrored offshore international entities set up to siphon assets, including farmland, mineral rights, but also patents and technology, both ahead of and then after 9/11. So Cascade, if you go into Stark County from a recorder perspective, comes right up and goes hand in hand with Cascade Petroleum, that is separating mineral rights from all of the farmland that Bill Gates has continued to accrue. He is among the many investors who are receiving $500 and $700 million energy payments now being issued by Deutsche Bank out of Germany. Initially JP Morgan and Chemical Bank. Well, although it sounds crazy, when I went to Cadiz, Ohio, Harrison County, and they had no history of the Dunlap family who founded the Ohio Farm Bureau and Farmers Insurance, and they changed the name from the Dunlap Church and Cemetery to the Dickerson Church and Cemetery, I went into the library and just said, hey, can I have the family tree for this Dickerson group, And it's actually Gates Dickerson. So in order for that to be true, according to the 20s plot and the 60s plot, it means that William Gates would have some sort of direct relative connection to Churchill. And sure enough, you gotta love the royal plot. I mean, the royals love to embellish, but Winston Churchill is the 15th cousin, one time removed, of Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft. Winston Churchill's full name was Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill. So the Spencer name has long been a part of the plot all the way back to the 20s. I too was confused. But the founders of the Farm Bureau were distant cousins of Francis Roche Kennedy Spencer. Distant in the fact that they never ever mentioned it. And I think they even all signed quitclaims because they wanted nothing to do with the royals or anything relating to Shell Oil Dutch. That's why Edward married Wallis Simpson, who was a Spencer, and Charles married Diane, who was also a Spencer. If you go over here, the Gates Foundation is re-registered as a U.S. trademark in 2024. It's done so under a brand new international registration number. If we take that registration number and see what it's affiliated with, when we drop that number in the global trademark search, you'll see the Gates Foundation over here, and it's under Germany, Belgium, Finland, Portugal, all of those different countries. And then Vanguard shares the same registration number, Vanguard International. right here out of Vancouver, Canada. Interesting, huh? That the Gates Foundation would be manipulated and then share the same trademark just as of 2024. Well, everyone knows that Epstein claimed to have been a bounty hunter in the insurance industry and that he was managing the family office, aka back office, for Leon Black, aka Apollo Global. Well, if you go here to back office as a trademark in the United States, it's a perfect Rockefeller example because it just starts with it being reinstated. No application, Microsoft just gets to reinstate it. So you get Microsoft for computer programming backdated, and there's a 0. 11-0 of 94. Yeah, anytime you see the 0, there's manipulation. So Microsoft through seed intellectual property. That's so great. Seed. You know, there's all this fun agricultural pithy puns and things. Microsoft, via its foundation, claims ownership to the back office trademark. And then it's 1996 that Microsoft is claiming it, but this is the part that everybody misses. The original owner was Kennedy Software Corporation, aka Kennedy Associates, back office associates. Also the family office that he was managing for Leon Black. And if you go into Ohio, you'll see the family office goes back to 81, July, no less. That makes perfect sense. And it's brought back as a conversion through New York. But then you see the Belden family office. Then you see Jeffrey's family office. And Belden family office would go hand in hand with the plot, as does this activity. It's reinstated in 98. And when I dive in here to Belden family office, it's reinstated by our old attorney office that had been hijacked as part of this entire plot. Yeah, but that's our old attorney. It was Simmons and Cleaver, and it becomes the Belden family office. And this is the liquidation of estates using platform technology. Well, you jump over to the United States Trademark Office, and wouldn't you believe Vanguard, similar to everything relating to fraud, is associated with agriculture. Vanguard International, fresh fruits and vegetables. But Vanguard Technology, let's take a look here. In 1982, while Big Papi is in the White House, it's brought back to life and then claims ownership of all of these additional trademarks. And here's where you can see the Inter-American Transport Equipment Company becomes Inter-American Vanguard. Suarez. Speaking of Windows, Bill Gates, Jeffrey Epstein, and 9/11 plus agriculture, Windows on the World is a trademark, has numerous filings as far as ownership, and Continental Illinois Holding Corporation is set up in line with Inhilco Corporation out of New York, which is restaurant services, but packaged meat consisting of meat. Jump over here. Windows on the World is backdated to 85, but then only re-registered after it merges all ownership in 93 with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. So it's granting backdated. It's recorded in 94, where the Port Authority, a body, corporate and political, created by compact between the states, New York and New Jersey.